In this video, I'm going to make a case against AI, and more specifically, why more people are not making money despite using AI a lot, and token maxing and vibe coding and making all these apps and all that stuff. And so the big misconception, I think, around AI is that AI somehow canceled every other form of leverage. Taken differently, businesses right now who are using AI and individuals who are using AI and they're seeing their token bills go up are somehow not making more money. Number one, when I look at our business, we now have had another kind of step increase in our revenue, but it's not because of AI. It's not because of AI. The second kind of proof point that I think is more interesting around this, and then I'll give you some tactics, is that I talked to a number of my wealthiest, oldest friends over the last week or two. And I said, listen, I know you need to have public appearances, but I said, how much are you actually using AI? And I was like, but you're not using it. And they're like, no, I'm not. And so this is the thought that I kind of want to challenge you with, and then I'll leave some tactics at the end, which is there are a lot of forms of leverage, and many forms of leverage are multiplicative. So for example, capital still has tremendous leverage. If you are in media and you make a video like this and thousands of people see it or millions of people see it, that is tremendous leverage. And when you multiply some of these together, let's say you have capital and you have media and maybe you have teams. I do find it ironic that like the frontier labs that have all this AI still have thousands of employees. And so it's just like kind of interesting as a counterpoint of like, but the thought of it is this, is that I'm seeing so many business owners trying to AI max, and because their capacity to work has increased using AI, they are now doing things they otherwise would not have done if they didn't have AI. But the thing is, those things that they otherwise wouldn't have done were lower priorities. And so now they're doing things that were less important, faster, and automated. And so one of the interesting things about not having AI is that it forces you to prioritize better. It forces you to focus on the things that are going to move the needle in the business. And I'm not seeing, with an exclusion of like just a handful of exceptions, most AI use cases that I've seen are not actually making the business a ton more money. The limiter of the business, and this is my point, is that the constraint of the business, many business constraints, at least to this at this point, are not still as perfectly solvable with AI. And if they were, then everybody would be making a ton more money. This is kind of like the crux of this, which is, let me give you some other examples of leverage that people are just not employing that you don't need any tech expertise to do.